Hello, children. Welcome to the new topic. What we are going to start today is goods and service tax. So, you must have heard about GST all the time. Uh, that you have to pay GST when you go to restaurants, when you go to malls, if you buy any food products or uh, shirt or any clothes. So, you have to pay GST, that is the goods and service tax on that. If you go to watch movie, even you will see that movie tickets when you purchase, that time GST is applied on that. So this is what you have to pay, the tax which you have to pay for all the goods and the service which you get. So this is the part of amount that goes to the government. Okay, so the tax which you have to pay, or which the citizens of the country has to pay if they are providing any goods, means if they are the manufacturer or they are the retailer, or if they are providing any kind of service. That time the person who provides the service or the person who takes the benefit of that service, both of them have to pay some part of it as a tax to the government. So we are going to understand in more detail about it. So now in the next slide you will see that there are different forms of this tax. So these are represented with the help of abbreviation. So I have written the full form over here. You can see GST means goods and service tax. CGST means the part of GST which goes to the central government. SGST means part of the GST which goes to the state government. And UTGST means the part of GST that is applicable, or that is within the union territory. IGST means it goes to that government. And IGST is the integrated GST. Integrated GST is applicable here. You can see in the flow chart. When you talk of GST, there are two types. Now, when it is intrastate, like we are in Maharashtra, and if we are talking about the goods are transported from Mumbai to Pune, okay, or Pune to Satara, say. So in that case, it is within the state. So if it is, goods or services, um, goods are transported within the state, then it is known as intrastate, or within the union territory. For example, inside Goa, if anything is transported, then it is said within the union territory. So in that case, the tax which is applicable is SGST. And when you are paying, say, 12% GST on any goods, then uh, half of it goes to state government and half of it goes to the central government. Okay, so that is how it is distributed. But when you are talking about interstate, for example, if any goods are transported from Punjab, it is coming to Maharashtra, or from Rajasthan, it is coming to Maharashtra, then in that case, it is interstate transaction. So in case of interstate transaction, that is IGST is applied on that, and it goes to the central government. It is not shared or taken by the state government. It straight away goes to the central government. So you can see over here, central government has a share in the intrastate transaction or the intra-union territory transaction, but state government is not going to have its share in interstate transaction. It is all going to central government. So basically you understand that how this particular bifurcation is done. Now, as you understand GST, before that it was VAT, but then the VAT was removed. The reason for that was single tax to bring down the prices for most households. That means if you, before GST, if you will see, every state has its own, slab system. But it was decided by the state government. But now the central has decided, and this slab will be uniform for all the states. Wherever you go, it is going to be uniform. So now, but then there are slabs, means there are certain food products where you can see that GST is zero. So no GST is applied on that. So you can see unpacked food grains, fresh vegetables. When you're buying leafy vegetables from the vendors who come to you, or onion, potatoes, when you buy, they don't give you bill, or they don't write GST so and so percent. The reason is there is no GST applied on these particular products. So the selling price is what you pay to the vendor. Okay. Then curd, egg, milk, when you're going and buying milk, when you're going and buying eggs, salt. So on these products, it is 0% GST. There are certain products like sugar, tea, where you can see 5% GST is applied. So I have just shown the slab. Then there are certain products where 12%, like you can see packed coconut water, almonds, fruit juice, ghee. When you're buying it from mall, you will see that applicable it's 12%, and they don't write for each, because it's computerized. They already have the programming done for that, and accordingly you get the bill. Then 18% tax is on these items. So you can see that when you go to restaurants, basically, they might charge you 18% GST. The reason is on those products, the GST is 18%. So you can understand the GST means single tax all over India. Okay. Now we go to the next part of it. Now how this distribution is done, because you will see that when the final product comes to the consumer, it is not directly coming to the consumer, but it is passing through these many different layers. Means manufacturer will manufacture the product, then it goes to the wholesaler, then it goes to the distributor, and then it comes to the retailer, or sometimes it directly comes to the retailer. Sometimes the distributor is there and then it comes to the retailer. So, and finally it comes to the consumer. But how this particular tax is then going to be applicable when the consumer is paying that. Now when manufacturer is paying GST, he is always paying GST on the selling price. So suppose if he is manufacturing say certain product, so if his selling price is say 400 rupees, he is going to pay GST on his selling price, that is 400. And when the wholesaler is going to pay, he will pay on his profit. So in that case, he will subtract the selling price and the cost price, and on the profit he'll be calculating the GST. Same with the distributor and the retailer. On the profit they calculate the GST. And now when the consumer pays the bill, that time the consumer will pay inclusive everything. So the final price will be selling price of the manufacturer, the profit of whichever, like wholesaler if he is there, or directly it comes to retailer, then the profit of the retailer plus the total GST what is deposited with the government, and then that final value is paid by the consumer. Means the consumer is going to pay for all the levels. So the final amount what the consumer pay, because they are not going to pay it from their pocket, it's going to be paid from the consumer's pocket. So I hope you have understood that how we calculate, and when we are doing sums, you will understand that how that particular calculation will be doing. Now important formulae, GST paid when you're talking about the retailer, distributor or wholesaler, as I told you that it is always on the profit. So it will be calculated by using the formula output tax minus input tax. If you don't want to write this, you can find the profit by selling price minus cost price, and on this profit, the GST is going to be calculated. Or you find output tax, which is on the SP, input tax, which is on the CP, and then you subtract the two taxes. Then profit percent, when you want to find profit upon CP into 100, this you have learnt even in lower classes. Loss is CP minus SP. Percent loss is loss upon CP into 100. And discount, when you're calculating, it is the rate of discount upon 100 into mark price. Now this formula, please write it down in your notebook. Now we go to the next part where you have to understand meaning of certain words, or what is the meaning of that. So when it will help you in calculation. So overhead expenses, what does it mean? Overhead expenses means if you're buying, or if you're manufacturing certain product, if you're a manufacturer, that time your shop is on rent, then you have to pay the rent. Then there is an insurance of that shop, so you have to pay that insurance. Then there are people who are on job, who are working for you, their salary, office supplies, whatever stationaries you use, utilities like electric bill and water bill and all that, repair and maintenance, whatever repair and maintenance you do, all that, taxes, what you're paying, then accounting, you're paying to see or something like that. That everything is overhead expenses, means your manufacturing cost plus overhead expenses. That totally becomes the cost price of the article, because manufacturer will not sell it without overhead expenses, because he's paying for all this. So he's manufacturing that product. So whatever cost is there, he will calculate it with the overhead expenses, and that will be the cost price or the selling price, in that he will be selling it. But for the buyer, like a retailer or a wholesaler, it will be the cost price in which they will be buying it. So I hope this is clear. Now, what is the meaning of marked price and discount? Okay, and selling price. Now you can see over here, it's a, when you go to mall to buy a TV, they write marked price on it. So here you can see it's written that this is the marked price of the TV, and they are giving 10% off on this. So 10% off, when you calculate the discount by using the formula discount percent upon 100 into marked price, whatever amount you get, that you subtract from the mark price, and that is how you get the selling price. So you can see over here, it is calculated by subtracting the mark price and the discount price, and that is how you get the selling price. So the selling price is always going to be less than the mark price when discount is given. So suppose if you're calculating GST, the marked price, selling price is different, and there is a discount, then always GST is calculated on the selling price. Okay, children. Now, what is the meaning of MRP? Whenever you're buying something, it's always written maximum retail price. Now, maximum retail price, as you can see over here, is the you can see over here, they have written inclusive of all taxes. But you have to understand that GST is also going to be applied on MRP as well. When you are buying from the regular shops, like for example, if you buy a chips packet, if the MRP is written, say 160 on the chips packet, then they will give you, you have to pay 160 and you get it on MRP. But then as they are not giving you bill for that, okay, they are not giving you bill, that's why they are giving it on MRP. But suppose if you ask for the bill, then they will have to apply GST on the MRP as well. So that's why whenever packets are sold, like chips packet, it's always MRP. The reason is, it's okay if they don't give you bill for that, because then it is the MRP which is inclusive of all taxes. Okay, so I hope till here everything is clear. Now we go to the numerical part. So first, a sum. A shopkeeper buys a Braille typewriter for rupees 40,000 and sells it to a consumer for 45,000. If the rate of GST is 5%, find the GST paid by the shopkeeper to the government. So first write the given. So in given, cost price of typewriter is 40,000. Selling price of typewriter is 45,000. So you can see over here, as it is said, that the shopkeeper. So whenever it is with respect to retailer, shopkeeper, wholesaler, it's or distributor, it's going to be GST calculated on their profit. So as cost price and selling price is given, you can separately find the input and the output tax on both. Or easier way is you find the profit, and on that you are going to use the GST. Now percent rate is GST 5%. So now you have to calculate GST paid by the shopkeeper to the government. So you can see profit made by the shopkeeper is selling price minus cost price. That is 45,000 minus 40,000. That is equal to 5,000, which is the profit. The GST paid by shopkeeper to the government is output tax minus input tax. You can use this formula, or directly GST percent, whatever is given. So percent rate of GST upon 100 into profit, as it is shopkeeper. So 5 upon 100 into profit, that is 5 upon 100 into 5,000. Now you can see 0 gets cancelled, and then when you multiply 5 into 50, you get 250. So the GST paid by the shopkeeper to the government is 250 rupees. Okay, I hope till here it's clear, children. Now we go to the next question. In the next question, it said Dhani Prasad buys almonds for rupees 700 and sells it for rupees 900 and charges 12% tax. Find the SGST and the CGST deposited by him with the government. Now, as I told you, if Dhaniram is buying almond for 700 and selling it for 900, that means he is a retailer or a shopkeeper. So you have to understand that on this, it will be always on the profit. Okay. So now find the SGST and CGST means if it is 12% tax, 6% is for central government and 6% is for state government because it is half distributed. Now what you are going to do is you can calculate 12% on the total profit and divide it as half and half, or you can directly take 6%. So let's see how to go about it. Cost price of almond rupees 700, selling price of almond rupees 900. Percent rate of GST is 12%. To find the CGST and SGST, so first calculate the profit, SP minus CP. So 900 minus 700, that is equal to 200. After that, I have taken it as 6% and 6%. Means if it is 12% GST, half part, like 6% is for the central government and 6% is for state government. So 6 upon 100 into profit, that is 6 upon 100 into 200, that is rupees 12 for central government. 6 upon 100 into profit, that is 6 upon 100 into 200, that is rupees 12 for state government. So central government receives rupees 12 and state government receives rupees 12. Okay, children. So now next sum. In the third sum, you can see 1 kilogram of butter cost rupees 476, which includes 12% GST. Find the amount paid, the amount of GST paid. That means this amount is inclusive GST, because see they have said which includes 12% GST. So this is 476 is along with the GST. That means you don't know what is the cost price of the product. So as you can see, this in this case, as there is no selling and buying. That means the consumer is buying this. So when consumer is buying, he is going to pay the tax on the total selling price. So we have to assume that the cost price for the consumer, let that be X, because this is the cost price of the butter plus GST. 476 is inclusive GST. So the buyer, when suppose if I go to the market and if I am buying 1 kilogram of butter and they tell me you have to pay 476 and it is inclusive GST, I'll be paying 476. I'm not going to ask for the original cost price. But then you can calculate it because you know the rate percent of GST, what is applicable on butter is 12%. So now you have to calculate the amount of GST paid. So according to that, when such numerical is there, such sum is there, what you're going to do is let cost price of butter, okay, that is X. So now when you are finding GST, what you will do is cost price plus 12 upon 100 X is equal to 476, because that is the amount what is paid including GST. So GST you're going to calculate percent rate of GST upon 100 into cost price, and that you're going to add to the cost price to give the consumer final price of the product. So now you cancel 12 upon 100, so 2 6s are 2 50s are, then 2 3s are 2 25s are. So you have to see that divisibility test saying that you can see units place is having 2 and 0. So you can divide. So you get 3 upon 25. Now when you equate the numerator and denominator with 25, so into 25 upon 25. 25 plus 3 is 28 upon 25. X is equal to 476. Now you want to find x, so you will take this 28 upon 25 to the other side of equal to sign. So it's become 476 into 25 upon 28. So when you cancel, you can see over here, you can cancel it with 4 because 76 is also divisible by 4 and 28 is, it comes in the table of 4. So 4 sevens are 28, 4 ones are 3 carry over, 4 nines are 36. Now once you get 119 upon 7, you can cancel it directly with 7. 7 ones are 4 carry over, 7 sevens are 49. Now multiply 17 and 25, you'll get 425. Now this 425 is the cost price, okay, without GST. So the cost price what the buyer or the consumer paid along with GST is 476. So how much GST is applicable? 476 minus 425 will give you 51 rupees. So GST paid is 51 rupees. Now this is your final answer.